Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now that 2025 is over, as I like to do it, once the year is over, we're going to do the um, end of year list. This one obviously is for my top 25 songs of 2025. Before I did top 10, I think last year I might have done 25. It was quite a long video, so I'm going to speed this one up. I'm not going to spend as much time talking about each song until I get to the top 10. But yeah, I wanted to do 25 songs, especially this year because there was so much good music that came out in 2025. So let's just get into it. Starting at 25, we have Trim by Playboi Carti featuring Future. I really wasn't going to include any Playboi Carti on this list. Nothing really came close except for the fact that I love this Future verse that's on here. I think it is his single best performance of the entire year. Stole the show, has the best feature on music, the whole album. He's the best feature, so it just barely made the list because just his feature alone makes the song worthwhile. 24 is Higher by Dejan. Little late to the Dejan train. I didn't love the album like everyone else if you watch my tier list video before this one, but this song was fantastic. 23 is Prick by Westside Gun featuring brother Tom Sos. Great storytelling with them, reflecting on their upbringing and how many people they lost growing up in like the gang life and where they are now and how lucky they are. Hallelujah by Key Glock is number 22. Great sample flip on this. The opening track to his album Glockavelli that came out in 2025. Number 21 is Flower Moon by Duran Jones and the Indications. Just super good, super smooth, really relaxing song, and one of the. I mean, there could have been several songs from this album that could have been on here, but this one was just personally my favorite. This or like Lover's Paradise could have been on here too. 20 is going to be Girl Like Me from Pink Pantheress. I think that this is her best album yet. Fancy that. And this was just my favorite song on there. Super catchy. Love the production on here. And, as always with her, the short runtime makes it easy to replay her songs over and over again. Number 19 is Obsolete from Tame Impala. While I think I was in the minority of people who did really enjoy the new Tame Impala album, this song was easily my favorite. I love just how like left field it was for him, and just how outside of his wheelhouse the whole production sounded on here. Number 18 is I'll Take Care of You by Tyler the Creator featuring Yebba. I could have had Sugar on My Tongue on here, or Ring Ring Ring, or even Big Poe, but kind of like last minute, towards the end of the year, this song just crept up more and more. And I really love this track. It's super danceable, super easygoing, and Yebba's feature on here is great to go with Tyler. 17 is Clouds by J. Cole. This song, also like many others, didn't hit me right away, but the storytelling on here is really good. J. Cole, just leading up to the fall off, and just an excellent show out. Number 16, Oh I Did by Yeet featuring NGYL. Honestly, that guy sounds like a Playboi Carti clone on here, but it's honestly okay because the production is super unique on here. Kind of surprised to have a Yeet song on here and this high up, but either way, I love it. Super hype. Could have been, again, one of multiple songs on this project to make it on here. Number 15 is City Walls by 21 Pilots, the opening track to their newest album. Also surprised that this made it on here. I decently enjoyed this album. It wasn't like anything super crazy to me, but this song was just the best thing they have released, in my opinion, since probably like 2018 with Trench. Number 14 is Know Me Better by Deb Never. This or Blue could have been on here, but I always do just one song per artist, and this one to me just really hit towards the end of the year over Blue. How catchy it is, super upbeat. And speaking of upbeat, number 13 is Lift You Up by Danny Brown. This has basically a like dance hall, or not dance hall, but like a dance beat that is super unique to Danny Brown and anything he's ever done, even with all of his experimentation that he's done over his career. A standout for all of Stardust. Number 12, Just Missing Out. I know a lot of people, especially, rap fans, had this easily in their top 10 or like top 5, but Just Missing Out on the top 10. Number 12 is Ensalada by Freddie Gibbs, The Alchemist, Anderson .Paak. A super great song, probably the best song off of Alfredo 2. Anderson .Paak, in my opinion, needs to make an album in 2026. People are starving for it, and this just made me, really play the song even more from how little we've gotten from him over the past couple of years. Number 11 is Funny Papers by Mac Miller. The best song, in my opinion, off of Balloonerism. Not only do I think is it my favorite, but I do think it is the best song on there. I think that the production is great, as well as his storytelling and songwriting. And just lyrically, I think that this song is just carries so much emotional depth to it. It just hits on every single note. Number 10, here we are, top 10. Kind of try to blaze through the last 15, but here I'll talk a little bit more about each of these songs, especially as I get closer to number 1. Number 10 is The Birds Don't Sing by Clips, featuring John Legend and the Voices of Fire Choir. This is one of a few songs that I actually cried to this year. This song is the opening track to Let God Sort 'Em Out, the return of Clips. And even though I still haven't, actually at the time of recording this, I still haven't listened to all of Clips' discography. Just them talking about the loss of both their parents from the different perspectives and how much they meant to them, just really hit home for me. And basically their parents giving them their final blessing to, basically reunite as brothers to make music again was super wholesome. It's just a kind of a beautiful send off for their parents. Even though they're both passed, by the time the song came out, it's just really just a great showing. And when I heard it, I was like, there's no doubt that this song was above all the rest on Let God Sort 'Em Out. I think it's just lyrically, it's their heaviest and just emotionally fulfills so much. At number 9, it is You Ugly by JID featuring Westside Gunn. I could have also done Community on here featuring Clips, but man, sometimes it's not always going to be the big emotional and lyrical songs that make it into the end of the year list, although this one is still very lyrical. This one for me just has to do with how hard the production is, as well as Jid's vocal performance, the flows he uses, everything just fits together perfectly. That, to be honest, I don't not that I don't care about the lyrics, but like when I listen to the song, it is mostly just because it bangs, and it is just a track that is super replayable, and honestly that's why it made the list, not unlike the one before it. Number 8 is going to be I'll Be There by Bon Iver, from the final album, I guess, that is coming under the Bon Iver camp. This one, again, could have been several tracks from this project, but yeah, this one, I don't know. I like how, he was working with Dejan and McGee for, a couple of songs on this project, and I think this one was one of them. I didn't check for sure, but I'm just going to assume it was. It has sort of that little bit emptier space that Dejan's most recent project had, and it has just this different sort of funk through it in the chorus. And yeah, I love the vocal sample on this too. It really, to me, just, I don't know, something about it is super satisfying, which is why it made it so high on the list. Number 7 is Goldmine by Choke Cherry. This is a song that I wasn't sure if it was gonna make it, but again, I didn't love it at first, but once their project came out towards the very end of the year of 2025, this song hit more and more. And I usually don't have singles for artists, fall into my top songs of the year, but this one, being the lead single, it really just, I don't know, it's super catchy. I love, like, the hook on this thing, and just every single part of it hits home. And in case you didn't watch my top songs of the year last year, Choke Cherry did have my number one spot with their song No Other Place. But still, number 7 is very good, and if they release more music in 2026, I'm sure they will be in my top 25 then. Number 6 is going to be Psycho Boost from Jane Remover featuring Danny Brown, taking a complete, sort of left turn from her normal hyper pop sound. This is her at her absolute, like, maximum, or like, I don't know, just it's intense. This whole album is very intense. Again, could have been several songs on here. Twice Removed, Professional Vengeance, JR 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 is a great track too. Turn Up or Die. But man, just her mixed with Danny Brown, the production on here, the way they trade off verses towards the end or bars at the end of the song is super well done. I just love everything about this song. To me, it has some of the best replay value. And my only problem with the project, even though I ranked it very high, is that I feel like towards the middle point, a couple of songs do blend together and sound very similar. This is one of the ones where instantly I can pick it out of the track list, and I can tell you which one it is. It's super unique while still fitting in sonically to the rest of the album. Number 5 is going to be I Can't Wait to Get There by The Weeknd. If you watch my albums video that's coming before this, you know that The Weeknd's album made it to the number 2 spot. But number 5 is still very good for an individual song, and I Can't Wait to Get There, to me, just I can't really describe, like, it just kind of itches my brain in a sort of way when I listen to it. Again, the vocal sample that plays throughout the I can't wait to get there, like that plays in the back, the high pitched vocals just is super satisfying. And just the way it contrasts with Abel's vocals is really nice. And again, like many of the songs on here, the album that it comes from, I could have picked a number of songs on there. So it was very hard to pick one, but I knew about like halfway through the year that this was probably going to be on there. It was just easily the one I kept going back to the most if I wasn't replaying the album as a whole. Number 4, the second of 3 songs that I cried to in 2025 is Live Right by Joey Valence and Bray from their album Hyperyouth, their third full-length album, and their big sort of emotional step forward. While it's not a super like lyrically dense album where every single track is going to have you thinking or super introspective or emotional, they do switch off and still have a lot of fun on this project. But to me, this album and like half the songs on there, like all the ones that are more emotional, just kind of hit what I have been feeling for the past couple of years of my life. Just the aspect of growing old and kind of losing touch with your friends just because you're busy with your lives and everyone is going on their own path, and you just get caught up in your day-to-day life that sometimes you forget to have fun, even though that is like the thing everyone wants to do. Like no one wants to just be a cog in the machine, but sometimes that happens. And I feel like this song really just encapsulates perfectly that feeling, and it really just stuck with me, and it struck a nerve when I listened to it, and it still does when I listen to it. It is a great song. I love just all the songwriting on here, as I do for obviously all these songs, but this one especially. And I really can't wait to see the emotional depth that they bring to their next project, especially if we're going to get more songs like this, or even Disco Tomorrow or Myself. Just great tracks. Number 3 is A Few Songs by Saba and No ID featuring Love Mansui, Ogi, and Smino. Now, that last feature, of course, is kind of the cheat code for why this song made it to the number 3 spot. Smino, as years go on, just becomes one of my favorite artists of all time. I listen to him just consistently. He never falls out of my rotation. and his verse on here is amazing. It just, again, every time he's featured on a song, it automatically like bumps up the ranks of what that song would be normally. And not that he like carries the song. I do love the chorus on here too from Love Mansui and Ogie or Ogie. I'm gonna pronounce it Ogie. I love the chorus on this. It is one of the best hooks on Saba and No ID's whole project. I could have also done the intro track on here, Every Painting Has a Price. Could have also done Big Picture. Yeah, again, this whole album was near perfect. Honestly, maybe by the end of 2026, I will consider it a perfect album. I wouldn't be surprised. It probably will take even less time than that, considering I think that Saba's last solo project, Few Good Things, is a perfect project. This one probably will be too, just with a little bit more time. But yeah, this one was just the one I replayed the most, besides Every Painting Has a Price, and really just was the one that got stuck in my head the most and was one of my favorites. That's why it's on my favorites list. Number 2, the third and final song that made me cry this year, Vanisher, Horizon Scraper. Big album for me, was my number 1 album of the year, but number 2 spot is Foregone by Quedeca. This is the near 8-minute track that came with this project. Again, it was a single, which I know Quedeca, in the rollout, he talked about how he half loves releasing singles and half doesn't believe in them because he wants the album as a whole to speak for itself. And singles are kind of taking the narrative of an album, when it's released, and you're taking this piece out and you're putting it in the fans' hands, and it just changes how they listen to it when it's on its own. And I almost stayed away from the singles on this project, but I just couldn't. The excitement just got to the better of me, and I listened to all of them. And when this one released, I was like, wow, this is an amazing song. I don't know where it's going to fit on the project. I'm sure that it is going to be towards the end. It's going to be this big emotional payoff. And basically, I was right. It is. It's a big emotional payoff at the end. It is this emotional high point of the project before the finale. And just hearing it in the whole project really changed my perspective on it. Even though I already loved the song as a single, it now just hits that emotional string every time I hear it. It's a beautiful song, and I don't mean that lightly. It really is like a church hymn, sort of, which is very unusual for me because I'm not a religious person. But something about just the way that this song was made, Quedeca's vocals on here, and the songwriting, all of it. It basically is, as he said, it's just a love song that he wrote for someone, but yet the way it fits in the narrative of the project, and even as a love song by itself, it's just so well done. It's so wholesome, and I knew pretty much straight from the release, like hearing it in the full context of the project, I knew it was going to be on here. But number 1 is going to be Dead Forever by Venturing. This is kind of a cheat code for Jane Remover, as I said, for the albums list, where both the Revenge Seekers project and the Ghost Holding project were made by the same person, but it's under a different name, so it's a different project, entirely different, sonic palette for both the projects. So that's how I got this song to number 1. I fucking love this song. Yeah, Dead Forever, it to me just hits a sort of note that no other song really hits on the Ghost Holding project. Like, I love that project. It was, again, one of my favorite projects of 2025. But something about this song I just knew was going to be in my end of the year list. The other one that was behind this one was Believe, the third track on here. I believe this one is number 7 or 8. Yeah, this song, I love the way how heavy the guitars are. Jane's like screams on this song are so well done, very kind of reminiscent on the first song, Play My Guitar, and everything about this song is just perfect to me. This is a perfect track. The implementation of shoegaze on here and like alternative rock, it's very noisy, it's very heavy at points, and if you listen to No Other Place by Choke Cherry, my number one song of last year, you'll kind of see like this right now, the sort of songs that are reminiscing a lot with me on my end of year list. It is these very heavy instrumental female vocal rock songs. They're though to me, those are just kind of hitting the most. I actually just found like earlier today as I'm recording this, I just found another um like very tiny female led like rock band that I see does a nice blend of genres a little bit. Has a couple heavier songs, it seems like, from what I've kind of previewed on their Spotify page. So I, maybe they will be in my end of year list in 2026. But yeah, that is my whole thing. That is the list. All 25. I will, of course, leave the playlist for this in the description. Um, and I hope you enjoy. I would definitely recommend checking out all these songs. The only song on here that I could really see driving people away is probably Trim by Playboy Cardi. But if you listen to that Future verse, the dude goes off. I mean, he spazzes on his verse. His verse is like almost a minute and a half. Like it's like half the track. I guess if you include the chorus, it's like a minute and a half. He's like a whole like 1 minute long verse of a 3 minute long track. It's fucking insane. Like truly, like he just non-stop flow from the second he starts to like the chorus. It's just insane. I love it. But yeah, that's everything. I can't wait to see the great music that comes out in 2026. As I'm recording this, it is 2026. It's actually February already because I'm lazy and I procrastinate. And there's already been some really great songs that have come out in the start of the year. So I'm really hoping that we're going to get just an abundant year of releases, as I'm sure we are. I listen to a lot of artists, so I'm sure I'm going to get my fill without a doubt. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. And that's all. Bye now.